Hi, Year 8, it's Mrs. Eleanor here again, and you'll be pleased to know that this will be your last history lesson of the year, your last lesson of Year 8. And if you look at the title there, you're going to do a little bit of work on the Oliver Cromwell statue that is in St Ives. So the title is, Should the Oliver Cromwell statue stay in St Ives? Now, you're going to follow the Schoology instructions, and this PowerPoint is just part of that. So, as with all my lessons, we have learning intentions and success criteria. So the learning intention is you're going to foster debate. This lesson is going to foster debate about the relevance and importance of the Oliver Cromwell statue. And the success criteria, you're going to recall key facts about Oliver Cromwell. It's one of the Year 8 topics, so you should have a little bit of information about him anyway. You're going to, on Schoology, look at some interpretations about Oliver Cromwell. You're going to assess those, and at the end of the lesson you're going to present a coherent argument. Now, this lesson combines current affairs and local history, because you hopefully will have seen on the news recently news articles about all the statues that are coming down across our country. And you know, we've got a statue in St Ives, so that made us think, should the Oliver Cromwell statue stay in St Ives? So the stretch and challenge was, what do statues tell us about the people who lived at the time the statues were put up? So if we get a chance, we can have a look at that towards the end of the lesson. So first of all, a little bit about the Oliver Cromwell statue. Well, it was sculpted by a man called F.W. Pomeroy. There he is, look, there's the picture, there's Oliver Cromwell pointing. We're all very familiar with that site. Now, what's very interesting, as some of you know this, the statue was originally intended for Huntingdon. Oliver Cromwell was born in Huntingdon in 1599, but the people of Huntingdon abandoned their plan to have the statue in 1899, and there must have been some very important reasons why they did not want the statue. Okay, so the people of St Ives took the opportunity to have the statue, and it was unveiled on the 23rd of October 1901. And people think that the people of St Ives, the reason it's come to St Ives, and obviously because the people of Huntingdon didn't want it, but the other reason it came to St Ives was Oliver Cromwell lived here for 5 years. He lived in St Ives for 5 years of his life. And it's thought that he had his conversion to Puritanism while he lived in our town. So the statue was unveiled in October 1901, and as you can see there on the PowerPoint, it is the second most visited location in St Ives for tourists, the Chapel of St Leger on the bridge being the most popular. So why have we got the statue of Oliver Cromwell? And why did Huntingdon reject it? So why is he important? Why is he relevant? To answer those questions, you need to know what sort of man he was, what sort of leader he was. So there's some information on this slide, and you'll notice it's colour-coded. And as I go through it, you will be able to work out what those colours mean. So let's go through this in turn. So he created the New Model Army, which was a well-disciplined, well-trained fighting force that enabled the parliamentarians to win the Civil War and get rid of a corrupt king. That is King Charles I, who taxed people. He did what he wanted. He believed in divine right. He tried to bring Catholicism back when England was a Protestant country. So Cromwell did his bit in getting rid of an unjust, unfair king. Next one, he promoted men in this army, which was nicknamed the Ironsides. You might remember the Ironsides because they stood firm. They didn't run away. They were a strong army. So he promoted men in this army on their ability rather than how wealthy they were. So this was very different to the Royalist army at the time. If you were capable, if you worked hard, you could get promoted. Now, clearly, those are good things. Next one, his signature was third on the death warrant of Charles I. Next one down, he was a Puritan, and as we know, Puritans were very strict Protestants, and when he ruled England, he got rid of many forms of entertainment, and it was illegal to do anything on a Sunday other than go to church or sit quietly at home and read your Bible. if you played football on a Sunday, if you did any work, if you danced around the maypole, you would be fined. He also closed the theatres down, and bear baiting was banned as well. Now obviously that is a cruel sport, but it was what people did for entertainment back then. So Cromwell basically got rid of anything fun in England. It became very, very dull. Okay. Next one, it says, although he hated Catholics, he was tolerant of many other religions, and, for example, he allowed Jewish people to settle in England. He installed major generals into the areas of England. He split England into areas, and through using these major generals, he ruled England pretty much as a military dictator. So Cromwell had got rid of King Charles I, but was he any better? Did we get rid of one bad ruler and replace that bad ruler with another one? Many historians believe that Cromwell acted and behaved like a king. He just didn't take that title. However, the next one down, he improved prisons, he encouraged the registration of births and deaths, and he improved care for the mentally ill. These were revolutionary at the time and clearly very good things. And lastly, his army massacred many Catholics in Ireland, in places like Drogheda, where you'll remember from lessons, the people of Drogheda apparently surrendered, but Cromwell ordered his army to slaughter men, women and children, and he went on to commit similar atrocities in Wexford. Now, he's known for these cruel actions. He's known as the Curse of Ireland. So, there he is, Oliver Cromwell. There's the statue, again, standing in our town. So what you've got to do now, if you follow the Schoology lesson, you're going to have a look at two different interpretations of Oliver Cromwell, do a little bit of work on that, and the last task you're going to do will be to write a speech, just a short speech, explaining your point of view. So, you know, Cromwell's an interesting character. He's one of these characters who can be seen as a hero or a villain. So you're going to pick one of those points, whichever one you want to argue, and you're going to write a short speech explaining your viewpoint. So hero or villain, in other words, should the statue stay or should we not have it? So good luck with all this. Follow the Schoology lesson. You can email it to your teacher when you've finished, and hopefully I will see you all in Year 9. Take care. Bye.